right, I just wanted to make a quick summary video about the representations that we can use for decimals here. So one is a linear one, which is a paper strip, but if you cut and, if you cut out this document and you take these strips and you like tape them together in one long strip with no overlap with your tape, then that would be worth one, all of it, that really long strip. These guys would, if you cut them out, would each be a tenth if you laid them next to each other, and these would be your hundreds and thousands, right? The problem is even my camera would not fit that arm here. So we're going to do something a little bit different. So we're going to use 10 centimeters, all right, to make our one. So then our 1 centimeter would be a tenth, and our millimeters would be our hundredth. And then we wouldn't be able to do thousands. If we were in class, we could cut this out and have a really big one, have, fairly good size tenths, so that our hundredths would be doable, and then our thousands would, we'd have this little thing with 10 little guys in it that we could slide up and down to get what we needed. But unfortunately, we don't have space for that. So we want 2.49. All right, so I am going to, and again, we want this to be to scale. So I'm going to do, there's my 1, all right, and then I'm going to do another one. So I'm going to go to 20. All right, and hopefully I have space to get what I want. All right, so there we go. And again, we're kind of viewing this as if it would be a paper strip. So let me just make that, I'm going to draw that in there. So say we had our paper strip and our strip that is this long, which again should be about 10 centimeters. That is what we're going to call 1. So this is another one, right? And we would have those 2 paper strips, and it's linear, you don't overlap. And then I need 4 tenths. So my tenths then would be my centimeters. So again, this is making everything to scale. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 tenths, which is what I want, right? 2.49. All right, so again, 10 of these would perfectly fit in here because I'm drawing it to scale. So this would be 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, and 0.1. Those are all my tenths. So 2.4, and then I would have 9 hundredths. So those would be 9 of my millimeters. And so I'm going to kind of draw, let's see, this would be 9. And then that would be what? 8 cuts to make 9 things. So I'm going to do my best. 1, 2. All right. And I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm not drawing the best. I'm going to just put 0.09 there. Hopefully there's 9 in there. I just tried to draw a bunch of little lines. So again, it's a linear strip. And again, in class, we could do this with paper. So like there's one strip, another strip, we would put them back to back, and then we would do our this and then our little hundreds, guys. And again, I don't know, I want to make sure it's less than a centimeter long, because if it's a centimeter long, then it's too big. Well, yeah, it's less than a centimeter, so it's good. All right, so that is a linear model for that. Base 10 can be a little confusing sometimes because it depends on what we let our whole be, okay? So if I'm going to let this guy, this giant cube, be 1, which is fine, then what that means is suddenly, if this is a whole, that's my 1, it takes 10 of these to make one of these, so that means this is a tenth. And then it means my longs, which it takes 10 longs to make a flat, these would be my hundredths. So that could be one model. So you got to kind of define your whole. So I'm going to let this guy be 1. So if I do it that way, I would have 2 giant cubes, because that's my 1. I would have 4, so I have 2 cubes. So I would have 4 flats. Those would be my tenths. And then my longs would be my hundredths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? But I could actually change that. So sometimes teachers don't have a lot of these because they cost about $8 each, and so that gets kind of pricey for a classroom. I'm going to ditch this for a second. So teachers usually have more of these. So they might be like, oh, well, I'm going to let a flat be 1, which is fine. So if my flat is worth 1, then suddenly this guy is now, there's 10 of these, so this is now a tenth. And then this little guy is now my hundredth. So if I'm going to draw my picture, I would have 2 holes, which would be flats. I would have 4 longs, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I would have 9 singles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So that's kind of, there's some, there's some choices there. Okay. I sometimes think it's easier to let the smallest place value be my singles and work my way up. So if I know this is my singles, then I know this is my longs and this is my flats. So if I have maybe something like this, all right. So if I look at this, I might start here and I might define my little cube, my little single, this guy, as tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and build from there. So I have 2 singles, 0 longs, 3 flats, and then 1 cube. So sometimes I do that where I let my littlest unit be this and I build. So if I go with that same theme, if I have 4.3, then I might let my single actually be a tenth. So 1/10 right here. So I would have 3 singles. And then what that means is a place value up would be my wholes or my ones, and that's actually going to be longs. So it can kind of change whatever you let your whole equal. So again, I sometimes like to start with my smallest place value being my single, and then I can just build up kind of like we normally do with base 10 a little bit. All right, let's go back to our 2.49, which again is 2 and 49 hundredths. And let's graph that on a number line. So if I have 2.49, another representation of this could be on a number line. So, oh boy, Julie, I just have a hard time with straight lines. Sorry about that. Again, if I want to graph this on a tick mark and I have hundredths, the place up would be tenths. So I know that my big ticks are going to be tenths, and this is between what, 2.4 and 2.5. All right, this number would fall in the middle, well, not in the middle, but it'd fall somewhere in here. And then I'm going to do my halfway mark, and then I'm going to switch to pencil. I've learned my lesson. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, if you're doing a number line and you have your little ticks and you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I don't know, maybe even make it worse than that. And that distance are not uniform. Like say your big tick, you got to erase it. You got to fix it. So you want to try to make it as equal as possible. All right, so if the big ticks are tenths, that means the little ticks are hundredths. So this would be 2.41. I'm going to go ahead and use the idea from class and do the little up and down idea just to make life easier. Sometimes writing sideways is better too. And then 2.49. And then again, if I add a hundredth to 2.49, like a penny, think of a penny. If I add a penny to $2.49, I would get $2.50. All right, so then I'm going to plot this on my number line. So 2.49 is almost to 2.5, and it's on a tick mark. And again, if it says plot, you actually have to put a dot or a point. You can't just, draw an arrow or whatever. You just put it right on the number line. All right, hopefully that's a good reminder of kind of what we've done. And you can start working on the homework, and I will have, I'll make more videos to help you out. So take care. Good luck.